Making massive multis can be a little rough on your CPU. Although you can conserve RAM and resources in the manner I just showed you, the CPU is a little bit tougher. This is a pretty strong engine with a lot of stuff going on. So when you're adding stuff together, you're going to want to be really careful. I do definitely like to unload anything I'm not using. But making a big multi can be great if you've got to play an orchestral passage live and you want to do it with just a single keyboard. You can make it sound really fantastic as opposed to just using a orchestra sound on your standard keyboard. So what I'll do is I'll load up some strings, brass, and woodwinds. I'll start out with the strings, load up the essentials, and I'm going to get rid of all the slots and go with just sustain. After that, I'm going to go to brass ensemble. Now, I'm not going to drag and drop. This time, when I load it up, I double click and it makes a new one. Now, remember, I'm not going to hear anything from this yet until I turn on the MIDI channel and have it go to channel 1. Because when I double click and add, it automatically makes it respond to a different MIDI channel. Now, once again, just out of good instrument design principles for myself, I'm going to clear all the slots and open up just sustain in that first slot. I'll minimize it since I'm done with that. Let's minimize the strings as well. So woodwinds are next. I'll open up the woodwind ensemble. Same thing. Take out all the slots. Go with just my sustain for now. Oh, I forgot to assign that MIDI channel. Don't worry. It's going to happen to you too a couple of times. All right, strings, brass, and woodwinds. There's my sound. Now you can pan them a little bit if you want it to feel like a real orchestral section. So maybe I'll pan the brass a little to the right, woodwinds a little to the left to keep the strings in the center. Great. Now, if I wanted to make it even a little bigger, I'm keeping an eye on my CPU meter. It's not going too bad, a little halfway up. Good thing I got a powerful computer. I can add in some saxophones. Now, I've got my brass pan to the right, so I'm going to throw the saxophones on the left side a little bit, a little further to the left than the woodwinds. Of course, make it respond to MIDI channel 1, and then finally, save myself the hassle, empty everything out, go with sustain. Now I've really got a nice orchestral sound. Sounds pretty fantastic for one person playing one single keyboard. And it's not, crashing. It's not blipping. I have my sound settings pretty high. I mean, I use a very small buffer in my DAW, so it's definitely possible to throw these together and make them live. If I wanted it to be a little more melodic, I'd probably add in one instance of violins. So you might be saying, wait a minute, aren't those in the strings? Well, yeah, they are, but I kind of like to add an instance of violins too, just to make it melodic, give it a little bit extra on the melody side of things. So I got a lot panned left. I'll pan that to the right a little, bring it down a little bit, not quite so much attack, and give it a little. And then maybe adjust the volume a little bit so it's not quite so loud, but it definitely adds a cool element. See, I find it helps bring out those melodic elements a little more to just double up on the upper strings. So there you go. You can make a massive multi that won't crash your computer. Just be smart about your resources and pan it a little bit and go wild. You'll be able to really make people think there's an orchestra in the room with you and you just got a single keyboard sometimes.